I've double checked. The light is on. Sorry about yesterday. Okay, so I have chosen to focus on 3 Black artists, women, that I didn't know about. And in case you're new to my channel, which there's a few, I like to learning. I call it learning by journaling. I love to learn new things. And this journal is all, this particular journal until the end of June is all about healing from the first half of 2020, whether it's the virus, whether it's staying at home, whether it's Black Lives Matter, whether it's bad politics in this country, USA. It is all encompassing, all consuming, very scary, all at different levels, all for different reasons, and all requiring healing on my part. So I chose to do a paper journal because that's just what we do and what I do. I chose to do an altered book. I chose to do touching paper heals me. But listening heals me too. I'm going to do this off book, off site, because my book is getting a lumpy left, which is what I call, because I go in order, because my brain only works in certain ways, and I can only go from front to back. I can't skip around. It's just how my brain works. And by the end of a journal, which is where I'm at in this altered book, it's really lumpy, and it's very difficult to work in towards the end. I will say I have a project for July that I didn't think I was going to do. Everyday Explorers. I don't sponsor anybody. Nobody sponsors me. I just have friends on the internet. And this person doesn't know who I am. This company doesn't know who I am. But it's Everyday Explorers, I think is what they're called. Anyhow, they have a great, oh, good grief. July is a journal that they're going to do as a group, and I'm going to participate, called Positivity, on the same lines of this healing. So my museum journal is going to get pushed back another month. Sorry. I had started a museum journal, my favorite museums that I've been to in my travels. So all that being said, I'm working outside of the book because it's lumpy. So my focus on my artists of today are 3 Black artists. This is all in the spirit of Black Lives Matter. Faith Ringgold is a story quilter. She was born in 1930. She is 90. She's still alive. And I think I'm going to do clusters. This is her. This is her. A picture of some of her quilts. I have known about this lady before this. I've seen her quilts on quilt document shows. Love her. Another one is Alma Thomas. Nope. Yeah. Alma Thomas. And she was born in 1891, died in 1978. She was born in Columbus, Georgia. Now, I can only tell you, as a woman in 1891 in Columbus, Georgia, that was hard enough. She was also Black, and she was also an artist. So kudos to her. She was an abstract painter, and she used large spots. Always not with the end result of a picture like Van Gogh, and her spots were larger, but as a pattern. And I admire her greatly for that. And I didn't print any pictures of her art. I don't know why, because sometimes my brain doesn't work. And there goes the dog. Sorry. He's barking at my husband, who's outside, because when I talk, he can't work from home correctly. And I'm in another room. Okay, the other one is Kara Walker. She is from California, which I am from. Don't live there now. Born in 1969, so not too much younger than me. She is a famous silhouette she's famous for her silhouettes, also paintings, also a couple other mediums, but mostly silhouettes. And she depicts life in like slave times, the little children running around talking to the landowners' wives and things like that. So that's how I'm going to do this. And I think I'm going to cluster these like this and somehow do like a 1, 2, 3. And then make that 1, 2, 3 graph over here depicting what I just said. So I'm going to fast forward now. Oh, no, I'm not going to fast forward. Let's just glue. I've had a hard time with the Black Lives Matter thing, only because I felt like all what I always knew and what I had felt was being told was wrong. If you don't like this topic, just find another channel for today. Come back tomorrow. This is just me and my thoughts. Because I felt like in the beginning, it was all, if you don't talk about it constantly, you are agreeing with police brutality and the lives of Black people being focused on in crime and things like that. And I thought, well, I don't talk about it every day and I don't protest with them, but I still don't agree that it's correct. And I have always admired anybody for who they are 3 steps prior to what color they are. I don't think you could have been born of my parents and not feel like that. I don't think you could have been born in the San Francisco area. I wasn't born there, but I was raised there from 4 and a half on. My childhood was spent in the San Francisco area and been raised like that. I mean, in that environment of a very correct thinking. Sorry about the dog. And I really took, that's when this healing journal started, because I really took to heart, why was I, by saying all lives matter, I was wrong. And I was very insulted or hurt or questioning myself when I heard, if you say all lives matter, that's wrong. I still don't think that's wrong by saying all lives matter, because that's how I firmly believe we matter. We matter. But I heard something yesterday, and it was about refiguring the United States police departments, which, I mean, could be time-consuming, expensive. I was so against it. I'm like, really, really, really? And I heard something yesterday, and this is why you learn, and this is why you listen, and this is why you explore. That's what this movement is about. Listen, learn, and explore. And I have evolved as a better person, as a person that agrees. I always agreed with Black Lives Matter, and this is due to a podcast that I watch about knitting. This was this girl's, woman's take on all of it after listening to a podcast. So it was the interwebs talking to me, and I was like, whoa, that is so true. Why would you send a policeman out to catch a rapist, remove a child from a dangerous environment, pick up a stray cat out of a tree, direct traffic? In other words, why would you send one entity, policemen, who are highly trained with guns and, everything, to expect them to be experts at all of those fields. If you had just been, your last call was a get this cat out of a tree call, and then you have to go remove a rapist from a very dangerous environment for a family, or arrest a rapist, or you're going to a robbery, his adrenaline, not that I'm making excuses, please, not making excuses for what's going on, but any policeman should not be put in that environment. We don't send a heart surgeon to remove your broken toenail. We don't, and that's exactly what this podcast was about. I'm like, wow, that makes so much sense. Yes, our police departments do need to be remodeled, upgraded, repurposed. The guy that rescues a little girl's cat out of a tree that directs traffic should not be expected to go into a possible robbery with guns. A man that just arrested 4 robbers with guns should not have to go then and go directly and rescue a cat out of a tree. I think there should be levels of police protection and training. And I mean, I was like, wow, that makes so much sense. And that's what this lady was trying to, express. Sometimes not, and I don't even know the circumstances of the guys in New York or Atlanta. But I mean, how, my ex-brother-in-law was a policeman. I know he said the worst cases or calls that they were sent on were domestic violence. How can you expect these guys to have their adrenaline going and all of that and their nerves and all of that, and then, be normal people in the next case, or a completely different kind of person is required in the next case? That's wrong, in my opinion. My opinion. I was like, wow, that makes so much sense. And that's what this lady's trying to get across. That needs to change. And I wholeheartedly agree. So yeah, maybe our police department does need to be revamped in this country. Okay, so Faith Ringgold is going to be number 1. This is Alma Thomas, number 2. This is Carol Walker, number 3. And now I'm just going to put their corresponding info. Oh, so I feel like a weight has been lifted off my shoulders. Self-imposed. I was like, I do need to listen, and I do need to talk about it, and I do agree completely. I think I do agree completely. Maybe I should say I need to listen more before I know if I agree completely with the entire message of Black Lives Matter. I'm pretty sure I do, but I haven't watched enough of it because I shut down. And that was wrong. That was wrong. And I didn't completely shut down. And I still am on the fence. Should you have a Confederate flag at a NASCAR race? No, that's in poor taste. Of any, it would be the same as if you put a Nazi flag at an American race car event. That's in poor taste. But should you remove them from the museums? Should you have which we have here in Columbia, South Carolina, where I live, the name of the street in a typically black neighborhood called Confederate Boulevard? No. Should you have Robert E. Lee Boulevard? No. Should you have Robert E. Lee School? No. Should we close down the Jefferson Memorial? Should we close down Strom Thurmond's memorials? No, those people did a lot of good. It needs to be part of history. I don't like, and I've actually have left the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. because it is so daunting, so depressing. I've seen it. I've gone there. I wanted to take my sister there. And halfway through our visit, I'm like, I'm going to the gift shop, which they all said and done. They have a amazing gift shop with tons and tons of material and books, just mainly books. And I was fascinated by all these books, and I just stayed in the bookshop and let her take her time. I did not want her to not see this because it's history and it's part of it, and it needs to be acknowledged so that it doesn't happen again. Now, I'll tell you one thing that disappointed me yesterday. Novak Djokovic, one of my favorite tennis players of all time, acted really stupid. And now he has COVID. So does his wife. So does another tennis player. And so does that guy's pregnant wife. And Novak was very, very irresponsible. And I'm not so sure. I cannot spell silhouettes. Sports needs to start back up. Because I just think it's crazy. And I think my sister said there was an earthquake in Mexico, southern Mexico, like 7 something. I can't, of course, our news here is terrible because it's all just politics, which is horrible in this country at the moment. Hopefully by November, it's not. I'm really thinking he's shooting himself in the foot. Thank God. Hopefully it's... Never mind. Okay, so now that can't stay like that because it's clear and it's white and I need color here. So what can we put there? When I tap my fingers, I'm thinking, oh, I do need to put my Black Lives Matter heart. That'll help. If you've never used one of these, Stabilo, these are the Stabilo Woodies, which are short versions of the Stabilo All, but they come in all bunches of color. The Stabilo All is black. As far as I know, it's only black. Black Lives Matter. I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off of me. I didn't think I was a bad person. And hopefully I'm not just dreaming up a reason to feel better about the way I thought. Hopefully it resonates. I really do feel like our policemen, anybody should not be sent in with an adrenaline level of just having gone through an arrest for a horrible person, and then, or vice versa, rescuing a cat and then sent to arrest a horrible person. Does it make what happened right? Heck no, it was wrong. But they're adrenaline. And I believe there are bad apples. Everybody has bad apples everywhere. Why can't we all be good apples? Why can't we be good apples? That'd be a great stamp, Allie Edwards. If you're listening. No. Why can't we all be good apples? You want to know my favorite scrapbooking or journaling supplies? Probably that I use almost every day. Tombow Food and SQ pen. I've only had this for a couple months because this came in a art subscription box. I love this pen. It is the best for me. Size, thickness, everything. Double-sided tape, which I never would use because I was not listening. Stabilo All, a used book, and Yoo-Hoo glue sticks. They're more expensive. I live in a very humid area. They work on humidity. And I'm very frugal with my glue. And they still, the times that they haven't stuck, it's because I didn't apply it correctly. Okay, watercolors. Yeah. Primo watercolors. Amy Tangerine. Amy Tangerine. Hobonichi. Probably because I've seen them so much lately. Dina Wakley, Diane Reevely. To me, they're two peas in a pod. Different supplies, different ways, but I still love them. Washi tape. That's what we need, washi tape. I think I have paint supply washi tape. But it might be in my museum bag. It is. But I know where that is. Hold on a second. Oh, here's another one. Jose Naranja. Those of you that watch me all the time, you hear me say that name all the time. Oh, this is one of my favorite tapes of all times, and it's almost gone. It's just paint splotches, and I don't even know where I got this. I think at Michael's. In a nutshell, that's my favorite stuff. And welcome to the new viewers. Anybody in the professional world would tell me don't do this every day. I'm going to do it. Excuse me. I'm doing it every day because it's what I love. And I think by me doing it every day helps me get better. Practicing. I practice every day with you. That's a good washi tape. And it comes up without tearing anything. So yeah, sorry about yesterday's video. When I went to take my camera down, I'm like, what? It wasn't on, but it was. Who knows how all that happens with me. Okay, we need a little bit of something up here, don't we? Never fear. There's no shortage of washi tape in this household. The little paint palette needs to go somewhere. Oh, here's one of my glue sticks. Okay, now I gotta insert that into my book. So, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. Learn by journaling. Learning by journaling. I highly recommend it. Oh, I gotta put double-sided tape on the back of these. I got in a new supply of double-sided tape because I go through it. Now that can go in my book. Those will get folded down. Bye.